Session 1. It is December 2025, and perhaps the ultimate language within the marketplace is feelings. For example, people buy food because they feel hungry, and maybe some manufacturers know that if they can add addictive chemicals to food, they can keep you buying because you seek the feeling associated with consuming their product. More examples are, some consumers buy clothes because they feel it presents to others how they want to be perceived. And people may choose to live in one house or another based upon what feels like a safe place, just like animals choose to sleep in an area where they feel safest from potential predators. Point. Session 2. Perhaps life is created through the following equation. Thoughts plus emotions equals feelings that are drawn into you as tangible and intangible results, manifestations. But oftentimes people are tempted into feeling unsatisfied due to their lack of money. How could people be tempted into feeling unsatisfied? By working a job that does not fulfill them, working with and for people that mistreat them, not purchasing what they have been desiring for a while with the intent of fitting their spending into a budget based upon income from an unsatisfying job. So, the unsatisfied emotions create within them an inability to feel their desires. Therefore, they do not create or manifest within the marketplace. Point. Further, I recommend you become aware and conscious of creating versus competing. A sales transaction can be created or manipulated by a salesperson competing with the mental perception of the customer, or in this case, their victim. In conclusion, a competitive salesperson did experience the result of a transaction, but may have created toxicity within their body during the competitive and manipulative sales process, which could manifest later in life as cancer. Point. Especially if the toxic sales practices are continued over the long run. Session 3. Creating within the marketplace or life can be messy. Your product or service may turn destructive or distasteful during the development process. Therefore, it is important to have team members around you that will wait for your harmonious intentions to be fully developed prior to exposing your product or service to the world. For example, it would be disastrous to a restaurant for a greedy, cash-hungry server to grab a partially cooked steak from the grill and serve it to their customers at the table with the personal intent to flip as many tables as possible to generate a certain amount in tips. Point. Because then those customers may complain online and to your local government, resulting in a damaged brand and fines. Session 4. What makes it good? What makes it correct? What makes it proper? When you get your weekly paycheck directly deposited into your bank is happy it has more money to lend out to others, and your existing bills, vendors, expenses are happy your money is present to act as their income. Point. But my question is, are the activities you participated in to generate that revenue in alignment with what you desire to create an experience in the present moment or future? Meaning, do you enjoy your job, or at the very least, do you enjoy what the money you get is moving you towards, like paying tuition to get a degree and future job that you have passion for? Further, does that job's function upon the Earth School align with your belief in morality, or a higher power, or aliens, or whatever may exist beyond the human construct known as the mind? Point. In conclusion, just because an activity generates a positive outcome on your personal balance sheet doesn't mean it is fulfilling. And perhaps unsatisfying activity over the long run creates cancer, which is usually an unmanageable personal expense that can result in death. Point. Session 5. I recommend that you become aware and conscious of the filters others are functioning through. For example, if a coworker smokes weed at work or before work, then their actions and conversation is based upon a lack of presence. Further, their motivation for work may not be to satisfy the end user or grow personally within the career, but instead they may be working to pay for future smoking sessions. Point. In conclusion, when they try to correct you or teach you something, consider the possibility that their methods may not be the most efficient or productive. Point. Session 6. Let me explain to you a possible scientific reason why women want bad boys and men want bad girls. I perceive it to be all about energy. More physically and intangibly attractive people were created from high momentum after wars and conquering occurred. As a generalization, The most aggressive men with the highest capacity for killing would defeat other tribes of men, kill them, and then mate with the females they preferred, which were the most attractive. This kept happening for hundreds of years, and now, within our current society, the most physically attractive women may be the most dangerous and unpredictable, while the most economically capable men tend to be less kind. Point. Keep in mind that the economy may be society's current form of warfare. Hence, the concept of market share, where there is only so much of the pie to go around, and one business must take market share from another competitor. Lastly, if what I am saying is accurate, you can apply the concept to your creation process by generating enough energy to create, and if you create with harmonious intentions, then you are adding love to the marketplace which is inside the universe. Point. Session 7. As quickly as possible. I recommend that you become aware and conscious of the triggers held by the monsters within your marketplace. 4. Even the monsters at work have feelings. Their feelings are usually attached to their ego. Rather it's your boss, coworker, or customer. Try to ensure that every business transaction is conducted without verbally nor indirectly wounding them. Often, it's the most accomplished and or the most demanding that are the quickest to allow their hurt feelings to derail operations. Why does this occur? Possibly because they are the most selfish, controlling, and fearful. Session 8. Ask yourself, what is the difference between a prison and an employee? Both are limited in what they can do by cages. A prison cannot move beyond security and walls. An employee should not move on to personal endeavors during certain hours of the day, regardless to if they are working remotely or on site. Point. A prisoner is given meals without options. An employee is paid a certain amount during fixed pay periods, resulting in them purchasing food within and based upon a budget. Point. Prisoners and employees both have constraints. Maybe the employee has more options within intangible confinements. How is the session helpful? I am currently unsure. So on to the next. Session 9. Session. When operating and transacting within the marketplace, I recommend that you become aware and conscious of the possibility that everyone else has a different level of consciousness. Point. Further, some may or may not have an internal dialogue, meaning some people do not have the ability to filter their thoughts prior to speaking, so they just speak and even act when prompted or as an impulse. Point. A deeper point is that regardless to if there is only one soul upon the earth school or if each person has an individual soul, some people may not have a soul and others may have less or more of a soul when compared to you and others. So, their actions may not be filtered prior through a morality compass or a compass factoring in consequences or even the emotional impact upon others. Point. What I previously stated is impactful to marketplace operations because a customer could use something and return it without regard to whether your business can reuse it or sell it again. That's just one example. Another example is that a coworker may take credit for your work and gain more money that should have gone to you without concern for your income. My last example is an investor in a business may only care about their return on investment and disregard the harmful products being purchased and consumed while being disguised within marketing as adhering to governmental health standards.